Dong. Super Tech, this is Leo.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Mic is turned on. I see it moving. I see the little arrow showing that my sound's coming across. All I did was raise the volume. Can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. Yes, awesome. Thanks, Peter. I just had to raise the volume. It looks like I had messed with it earlier to where the volume was really low. And my sound, I guess my voice wasn't coming across at all. All right, so I'm working on the Series X. This Series X, basically what's going on with it is has no network. The network on it, the Ethernet port, it's not working, so it doesn't detect the Ethernet cable. That's basically what's going on with this one. And as I don't know if you guys saw right now that when we, let me clear this real quick because it looks kind of blurry. When we tested right now, as you can see, I'm able to connect Wi-Fi, but I am not able, it doesn't detect the Ethernet port when it's plugged in. So we're gonna go ahead and diagnose to see what may be happening. Now this is my first time doing this type of repair for an Xbox Series X. I've done to where the Ethernet port is actually visibly broken, but not one that looks literally in pristine condition, at least through the naked eye, through the outside, and it's not working. I've never worked on one of those, so I don't know what we're gonna find in there though. So we're about to open this up and find out together, to be honest. Hopefully we are able to figure it out as well. Because this is my first time working on this. I don't know what exactly I'm troubleshooting, but besides tracing, you know, following the traces from the Ethernet port and seeing what possibly is shorted, if any components are shorted, that is. I do like to clean these consoles along the way as I'm taking them apart. That way I work in a somewhat clean environment. Because these consoles, they do tend to get dirty and dusty in there, so. Yep, dirty and dusty. I do use a brush just to basically get the dust to just move, irritate the dust basically. Realtek chip, that's a possibility. It could be, if there is a, and that's the thing. I don't know if there's a Realtek chip on the Xbox Series X. I've opened so many of these, but since I've never really worked on this issue, I don't know if in fact it'll be the Realtek chip. Could I turn off the music? I could lower it down for you. Lower the volume down on it. I'm listening to it as well. This one is kind of stuck in there, does not want to come out. There it is. I'm over here trying to get that, and I remove that so I can get these screws out over here. Sorry, y'all. I haven't forgotten about y'all on TikTok. You inspire my you fear things apart. You tear things apart? What? You inspire my you tear things apart. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that statement correctly. Mine is a dust magnet. Yeah, these certainly are dust magnets. Everyone says, I'm sorry, with the image in the background makes it difficult to read this. Static electricity from the vac will kill my system. You have to get an ESD vacuum, that's why. So yes, vacuums can cause static electricity, but if you use an ESD vac, you should be fine. They only cost about $250. Do you fix stick drift on PlayStation 5 controller? I don't necessarily offer repairs on PlayStation 5s. I don't see, at least for my labor costs, I don't see the value of it, honestly. I can't offer $30 repairs. There's no value in there. I could spend an hour potentially if it's a stick drift, and let's say for example we have to desolder the actual analog stick. I'd spend maybe 20-30 minutes and then only charging $30. That's, to me, that's not my time. It's not being valued appropriately for remote controls. So I don't see the value of me repairing those at the moment, at least not as a small garage base, home base garage business, because Because while I'm doing a, for example, a controller repair for an analog stick, let's say I spend 30, 40 minutes, I could be fixing a console or something that's got more profit margin than the controller. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not trying to overcomplicate things. XS1S still runs since second year. It came out. What's wrong with the Xbox? Its Xbox is it turns on and everything. Everything's functional except for the Ethernet port. Customer told me that they had some sort of a power surge come through, some sort of a lightning, and they had a power outage. And then after that, the Ethernet port was no longer working. It wasn't being detected. So this type of issue is actually my first time honestly taking a look at it, I'll be honest. So we're gonna learn all at the same time. We're about to learn all at the same time. Where am I located? I'm located in Fort Worth, Texas. Which is easier to work on, Xbox or PlayStation 5? When you say Xbox, do you mean the Series X or the old school, the Xbox One X, Xbox One S? I guess it depends on which, the Series X. It's easier to work on, although you got more screws on the PlayStation 5. For me, let's say for example, it's a power issue. I guess it depends on the problem, honestly. HDMIs are easier on a PlayStation 5. Actually, PlayStation 5s are easier to work with. Yes, it takes a bit longer to take apart because of the number of screws they have on the PlayStation 5. But on the logic board, the actual motherboard itself, it's a lot easier to work on versus Xbox Series X, especially when you have two motherboards on this one versus a single motherboard on an Xbox. I mean, on a PlayStation 5, you only have one board. This one you have it's sandwiched. You've got a board at the top, board at the bottom. You got your software chip at the top of the board, and then you got your main chips at the bottom. So the one that's easiest to work on, yeah, it is the PlayStation 5. But again, PlayStation 5s break so often as well. Those are the ones I get the most, which I'm okay with, to be honest. More profit margin. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this board out because I just want to see the Ethernet port. I want to see what's going on. I hope it's not the software chip that gave out on this, to be honest. Alrighty, so I've got the motherboard out. Let me start inspecting this to see what we see here. Let me remove these cables from back here. Alright, and if you guys want to see what I'm looking at underneath the microscope, you guys are more than welcome to go to my YouTube channel. More than likely, it will be the chip. If it was a lightning storm, I just need to make sure that there isn't any burnt components, though. I'm doing a visual inspection near this area at the moment. Let's go ahead and change over to. Is my camera not going to be displaying now? Come on. There it is. So what I'm doing is just a visual view real quick of this motherboard to see if we see any like burnt components of sorts. Which at the moment I am not seeing. I don't see anything on here at the moment. Nope, nothing. I'm thinking it's gonna be this chip here. The Realtek chip. Just like Peter actually said, Realtek. The Realtek chip. So yeah, it is a Realtek chip. Let me check, actually, no, let me follow this traces real quick. They lead to this side of the board. Oh, is that a burn mark? I don't know if that's a burn mark there. I wonder if there's... I don't see anything going on inside there. That kind of looks like a burnt mark right there, but it's just on the outside of that plastic. Okay, we're gonna... Let me grab my my probe real quick, and I'm going to test surrounding components here real quick. Check to see if I have 3.3 volts on it. Means I got to inject some voltage on it or something in order to be able to see if we've got 3.3 volts. Let's check voltage. I don't think we'll have 3.3 volts now. It'll be difficult to check if it has 3.3 volts though, because the way it's actually, well, oh, come on out. Hey, Funky, appreciate you coming from TikTok, man. 3.3 volts. I'm not sure exactly what capacitor or what resistor would actually provide 3.3 volts, however. And also, I would need to inject voltage in this thing in order to see the voltage. Hold on, I'm trying to see here which pin would I have to check for 3.3 volts. And I don't have a pin out for this, so. All right, let me connect this real quick, and we're gonna plug it in and see if we got 3.3 volts. There it is. I'm not gonna put the Wi-Fi chip yet. I'm gonna leave that off. And we're just gonna put this back together real quick, just temporarily. We're not gonna put the screws on it yet. This is just so we can lay the battery power supply down and check to see if it has 3.3 volts, just like Peter suggested. As mentioned, this is actually my first time working on this specific issue, to be honest. And let's see. Let me turn my TV on, and that way I can see the scope, since it's too high. See the scope on the actual screen itself. Put black probe on ground and start testing some of these pins out. See which one actually, if any, provide 3.3 volts. There you go. Look it up, GameCube tool set. It should give you the right ones. I'm not sure what you're referencing, bud. How's it going? I was wondering what tools I need to recalibrate laser. To recalibrate laser on what? GameCube? You don't need necessarily specific tools to recalibrate a laser. I'm not sure if any of these. I'm just gonna test all of them real quick and see which one may provide me 3.3 volts. This one's giving me 0.07 volts, so that one's not gonna be it. 0.1, so that's certainly definitely not it. 0.1 volt. 0.1. 0.1. I think this is ground. .1. Also 0.1. All of these are just giving me 0.1. None are providing 3.3 volts. Come on. Yeah, none are actually providing 3.3 volts. Got the power cable plugged in and everything. And I know these are just plain ground. That should just be 0. Yeah, none are giving me 3 volts, so No, none of them are giving 3 volts. I have the power cable plugged in. Normally, when the power cable is plugged in, and I test voltages, I should be able to see some sort of a voltage coming across. For example, if I do my 12 volt row here, I should see 12 volts. Yep, I got 11.9 volts right there. So I do have voltage coming in through the board real quick, and none of these are actually giving me any sort of voltage. So more than likely it is going to be that Realtek chip. .14 volts right there. 0.11. Yeah, nope. There's no voltage going into the Ethernet port. So that said, more than likely this is going to be that Realtek chip. So what I'm going to do is just take a, I'm guessing in this case, being somewhat of a educational guess type scenario with regards to replacing that Realtek chip. One of the things I could do is just test for shortages. Potentially there could be a short in that area. And just check the surrounding caps to see if any of them are short. That's what I'll do. I'll check for shortages. Let's check for shorts real quick. So we do have a few caps here. Put this in continuity mode. And we're going to see if we have any sort of a short. Here we got 2 caps right over here. Okay, so it is on beep mode. Okay, so that's ground. There's no short. At least not on the caps I'm seeing. These are just resistors. That's the ground area. Yeah, there's no shorts. I'm gonna go ahead and just get that chip replaced real quick. But before we do that, let me grab a donor board and take the chip off of the donor board, and then we're gonna replace it. Now, I don't know if this chip is any good, but we're going to try it. We've already removed the Ethernet port off of this one. So we're going to go ahead and take it off of this one. And if that doesn't work, I'll have to follow the traces and see where those traces lead and start testing additional components afterwards. I should have just checked resistance level on those resistors, to be honest. See if I get any odd values from them. Okay, we got our donor chip. Let's remove the soda chip from here. Is it an RTL 11HM? Oh, that's a good question. Let's take a look. Yeah, that one is. Let me see if the one I took is the same model. This is the same part number. Let me grab some IPA to clean. .811 1MH, same model. The only difference is the bottom, but it's the same part. So yeah. Peter, I think you said PX_ref CLK1, RQ1, and pin 12. And ENET. Do you have the schematics for this? Because if you have the schematics, man, I can share with you the my Discord. And if you wouldn't mind sharing that, that'd be awesome. I don't have schematics for the Series X. Pin 12 and pin 21 should be 3.3 volts. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this first real quick, and then we'll test, I guess, just if we get any sort of different readings afterwards. Top right, that's pin number 1. I'm just trying to remember that so that when I solder it back on. Okay, it is soldered back on. I'm gonna go ahead and let surface tension take place, and then we're gonna push it down. I don't like the fact that it's kind of wobbly. Let me push this down a little bit. I don't like it that it's wobbly. Wobble, wobble. Shake it, shake it. Drop it, drop it. Okay. I'm gonna push it down a little bit. There we go. Okay. We did get one solder bar that squeezed out from there. On this side. We'll get that out of the way. There we go. I'm gonna let that cool off real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up right afterwards, and then we'll do some testing. Check to see if we've got the proper voltages that were referred 3.3 volts on pin 12 and 13. I don't have the pin out for it, so I don't know where the pins, which pins 12 and 13, but we'll just test all of them and see which one potentially may be giving me the 3.3 volts. If any, if there is any voltage still being supplied through it. All right, let me go ahead and clean the surrounding areas on it. Not the chip yet. Just want to clean this flux off of here. Sorry, y'all. I haven't forgotten about you guys over at TikTok. Read the chat. Sorry. I'm interacting with people on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, y'all. You should try. You should try to screen share your YouTube page live on here so we can see scope camera. What do you mean screen share? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know exactly how I can screen share my YouTube page on TikTok. You need my help on the soldering machine? What sort of help do you need, ICU? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know how to screen share. I have no idea what you mean by screen sharing. From screen sharing to TikTok. I tried getting a stream key from TikTok, but it was rejected, so I kind of just came up on that, to be honest. I'm gonna have to look into the whole screen sharing thing, because I have no idea how that's done. If I had a stream key though, it would be a whole lot easier, because I could just put the stream key on my OBS and voila. All right, this is cleaned. Let's go ahead and put it together and let's test. Is this your full-time job? No, it's not my full-time job. Well, it's kind of like a full-time job, but it's not my full-time job. Well, I do spend more than 8 hours, honestly, doing this, so I don't know what is considered a full-time job. It's not my primary job, no, but I do spend a lot of hours doing this every single day, doing you guys' consoles and such. When I say you guys, I mean, you know, customers mailing their devices in, and or local customers that find me on TikTok and or YouTube and bringing their devices to me. What do I do for my primary job? I'm a secret agent. I'm a secret agent. Man, I'm losing my mind, y'all. I'm losing my mind. All right, I've got voltage flowing through. Let's check. Let's see if anything changed, to be honest. I don't know if that would make any change at all, but we're gonna validate. I don't know which one's pin 12 because these pins are not numbered. So I'll put black probe on ground, and then with my red probe, I'm gonna check for voltages. Make sure I've got the right setting up. I'm in voltage mode. Now let's check again one more time. Now I'm getting 1 volt here. Awesome. This one's getting 0. This one's bouncing all over the place. 0.4, 0.5. Got 1 volt there. Before I wasn't getting not even 1 volt. I'm getting 1 volt there. I'm getting 1 volt there. I'm getting 1 volt there. I'm getting a 1.5, 1.6, and going. 1 volt. 1 volt. And 1 volt. I'm not getting 3.3 volts at all, but I'm gonna do a test real quick. So we're gonna put this together just enough to be able to test. Let me put the screws on so I can put the rest of the stuff on. They are 3.3 volts. I didn't get any 3.3 volts on here at all, man, but we're gonna see. We're going to see if... I'm just taking this off just a tad bit so we can put the this Bluetooth chip on here. FBI. What level set do we have? Side hustle. Yes, sir. Not necessarily a side hustle. It's an actual business. Hopefully by next year I'll have my storefront. Just trying to get all my ducks in a row. All my T's crossed, I's checked before I actually open up a storefront. I don't want to be a failing business, so I'm just taking my sweet time on opening it. Trying to get all the proper information that's needed in order for me to open up an actual storefront. I'm not really a secret agent, okay? I was just joking. Self-taught or school? I did go to school for computer networking. They only taught a little bit with regards to PCs in general. Nothing outrageous, but everything else I've self-taught. I learn by doing. I don't learn by just watching someone, although I can watch someone and do it at the same time myself, and then I'll learn. That's just my way of learning. But if I'm just watching a tutorial of sorts and then I don't do it myself, I will not learn. So it's self-taught, I guess you could say. Okay, I got the screws. I still have a whole bunch of dust back there. Let me clean that off real quick. Okay, that's done. Um, that music kind of reminds me of Bloodsport. That was actually one of my favorite movies growing up. Bloodsport. What's going on here? Why isn't it sitting it all the way? Is this in the way? Nope, nope. Who remembers Bloodsport? Anybody? With Jean-Claude Van Damme. Need my spears fixed on my Beats by Dre. I don't fix any Beats by Dre. Do you know Micromage Repair? Do I know? I don't know him personally, but yes, he comes to my YouTube channel. He was actually here on last Saturday. Micromage. He was on my YouTube channel. I watch him all the time. Actually, a lot of the tools that I've purchased, I've actually gone through his link because I saw it beneficial for my business. All right, we're not put the screws there just yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on. That way we can do a proper test. All right, we're gonna go ahead and plug in our power cable, HDMI cable, and then our Ethernet cable. We're gonna see if this thing actually connects. Moment of truth, y'all. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's gonna connect? I don't know. Test bench. Okay, we are turning it on. We got the toaster fully put back together. He is your wife's son? Oh, wow. Tell him hi, man. Tell him Rosales Super Tech says hi. All right, so console is on.
Like everything that you and the institution of television touch, destroy.
And I'm gonna go to the settings real quick. Network. And let's go ahead and show on our YouTube page. Is it connected? Yo, Peter Austin, man, I owe you one, man. I owe you one. You the man. You walked me through this, man. I didn't get the 3.3 volts. I was only getting 1 volt actually, 1.0 volts. It wasn't giving me 3.3 volts, but it's working. Let's go ahead and run a test real quick. Test connection. Console's connected to Ethernet. Man, you straight out the bat told me it's gonna be the Realtek chip. This is my first time ever repairing a network issue on an Xbox Series X that it's not related to the Ethernet port itself. Appreciate it, bud, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go to your channel. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. I'm checking connection right now. Look, there it is. It is connected. This one's fixed. This was certainly the Realtek chip. Who would have thought that Realtek chip would actually be completely killed during the storm? I would have never thought that the Realtek chip would actually be killed. I would think maybe a capacitor, you know, would have gotten killed or something, but not necessarily the chip. However, I do see that a lot, though, on the PlayStation 5s. Not really on the Xbox Series X's. That was actually my first time fixing this issue, though, with the Xbox Series X. I am turning it off now. Let's go ahead and get this unplugged, and we're going to start putting it back together. We're going to put the rest of the screws on, and I'll do some testing afterwards just to make sure everything else is fully functional. But as it sits right now, this thing is working. So was it the chip? Yes, it was a chip. This tiny little chip here, it's a Realtek chip that's right behind the Ethernet port. The only way to be able to tell, or at least the way I was able to test, because I was walked through by Peter, and I'm sorry I can't pronounce the last name, but Mr. Peter here on YouTube, he practically told me that there's pin 12 and pin 21 that should be showing 3.3 volts. Now, I wasn't able to necessarily produce that specific testing, but one of the things I did notice when I initially was testing the pins underneath the Ethernet port, I was only getting about 0.1 volts being produced. 0.11 basically, 0.11, 0.11 volts. So I wasn't getting the proper voltage coming across to the actual pinouts at the bottom of the Ethernet port. But once I replaced the chip and I put this is a chip though, this is a tiny chip, Realtek chip. Once I replaced the chip, next all I did was plug in the power cable. I noticed that the top row, which is the row nearest to the motherboard, I was getting 1 volt all the way across, and then 3 of them on the back were getting 1 volt as well. I didn't get 3.3 volts at all, but I was at least getting minimum 1 volt. So I decided to test, and sure enough, it was actually working. It's a common problem? Well, if it is, I'm just being honest. This is my first one I've gotten, and I get quite a few consoles that come through me. This is the first one I've gotten where the Ethernet port is healthy, but there's no network flowing through it at all, and to where the chip itself ends up being bad. So it's a first for me, and I appreciate you walking me through it as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting these back together. I feel like I owe you some lunch now, Peter, to be honest, man. You just fixed the console for me, man. Basically. I think you don't get it before you start. before it start. Oh, you don't get it before I start. So I have to start the console, then I'm able to see 3.3 volts. I see what you're saying. So if I would have started up the console right now, potentially I would have been able to see 3.3 volts. I forgot to change my torque here. Like, why is it doing that? It's supposed to be at 4. Forward's hand tighten. There we go. We still got some dust mites in there. Hold on. There we go. Everything's coming together. Let's go ahead and put the screws over here. Oh. Come on. Who's ready for that new Cyberpunk game? Any of y'all ready for Cyberpunk? 2077, I believe. I think that's what it is. Cyberpunk 2077. Anybody gonna play it? More sensitive than the Xbox One S. What? What are you talking about? What do you mean by more sensitive than Xbox One S? Been out, bro. DIC, I think. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I am lost. I am lost because I have no clue what you guys are referencing. Yes, you ready for Cyberpunk? I know I am. Can't wait until Cyberpunk comes out, man. Cyberpunk and Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm telling you. I haven't been gaming lately, or I haven't been gaming actually for a few months. But I tell you, when Cyberpunk comes out and Grand Theft Auto 6, I'll probably start my streams back up. And when I say my streams, I mean my gaming stream, not just repairing consoles. Cyberpunk's already out? There's already a DLC for Cyberpunk? I didn't know that. You're gonna make me look into it now. Where's my phone? I forgot. I'm over here looking for my phone. I'm actually live on it. Let me look it up on this other phone over here. Is Cyberpunk out? Is it out? Because if so, I am completely. But there's a new one coming out though. I'm talking about the new Cyberpunk. I guess you're right. It did release. It released the 26th of September. September 26, 2023. Bro. It is out. You are very correct. Yeah? It's a fraction of the Xbox. It's a battery case. It's a battery phone case. It's zero lemon. I charge this phone maybe once a month. Yeah, I charge that phone once a month, man. It's my business phone. I don't like having too many wires at my nightstand, so I just decided to buy that instead. And also makes it to where I don't carry it all the time, and it makes it difficult to get lost because it's so big. And to break. That's hilarious. Oh man, I didn't know that game was already out. Seriously. I did not know it was already out. I thought it was gonna come out like next month or something. I don't know why I kept thinking that. All right, we're gonna check one more time, y'all. We're gonna check one more time, make sure that everything's still fully functional, make sure that network's working as well before we start with the next repair. Put this warranty sticker back on here. Although it was already opened by someone, so it was opened by someone else apart from me. All right, still shows it being connected. You guys can see that over on my YouTube page, and you guys, I guess I'll go ahead and turn you guys around so you guys can see. That is the network page right there. Of course, you can't see properly because of the light, but wired, it's connected via wired, and we're gonna go ahead and test connection real quick. Just run a network speed, not back, network speed statistics. It's gonna check the network, and it should be good. And then we're done with this repair. We'll go on to the next one. I'll see what the next one is. Man, it's already 9:01. And there it is. Got 966 megabytes per second. Download speed, uploads 408. With latency about 18 milliseconds. So I think we're good. All right, let's go ahead and turn this console off, and then we're gonna go ahead and send the invoice. I'll send the invoice afterwards, though. I'm not gonna waste too much time creating invoices and such. Dang, don't put that near your head. Don't put that near my head. Why is that? I have to. Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Turning what off and turning what on again? You talking about the phone? What are you referencing? All right, let me go ahead and put this up real quick. Let me go ahead and grab the other one. Oh, I'm already taking off without unplugging the wires. Okay, Enrique Orozco, he's next. He brought his console over to us earlier today. This one looks like it's had some fun, as you guys can see right there. Looks like the shell on it was broken at the top. This one, what's wrong with it? It's just an HDMI port repair. I'm sure you guys have seen quite a few of those, so you guys are probably gonna be bored watching an HDMI port repair, to be honest, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on next. Oh, this one's dusty. This one is dusty. Where is my other prying tool? There it is. Although this has already been broken off, it's still prompting me to. Come on. There we go. Oh man, this has just got a lot of dust in it. A lot of dust is just popping up. You're in Sweden, Peter? Oh wow. It's 4. When you say 4.02 is like 4:02 a.m. What are you doing awake? Can't sleep. Yeah. You know what? That's me most nights, to be honest, man. I stay stuck on my phone, watching TikTok videos, watching people do repairs and such. That's normally what I tend to do myself as well. Hey, D, appreciate you joining my live. Thank you very much. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Trying to get Assassin's Creed Mirage. Yeah, I like all the Assassin's Creeds as well. Is it already out? I don't want to make another statement and be wrong as well. I didn't know Cyberpunk was already out. I'm about to turn up my AC real quick because it's getting kind of warm in here, and I turned it down a little. I turned it up earlier. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit though, because it's a bit warm. And turn up the fan speed a little bit too. What screwdriver is this? This is a Milwaukee. If you go to my link in bio, and then it'll take you to all the links I have at the very bottom. I should have tools I use through Amazon, and I've linked this specific tool that I use. It may be out of stock there, but it'll show you who has, select other options, and it'll show you who has them in stock. I got this one with 2 batteries, charging station, and this. I actually have 2 of them. This is the other one here. This is the older one. This one I just got in today, actually. This is the older one. So I need two because sometimes I'm working either here or my other workbench over there. So I was like, yeah, let me get a second one because I hate having to go back and forth, grab it here. And sometimes I leave it over there and then I'm like, no, I need to keep one here on this desk and one on that desk. So I went ahead and got two of them. It's an investment, to be honest. Alrighty. Man, this thing is dusty. Can you guys see that? It's like a sandstorm, just like this was involved in a sandstorm or something. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm gonna have to charge additional for the cleaning, man. This thing is just dust after dust after dust. It's quite a bit, it's dusty. I can't work under these environments being really dusty. Or at least I can't have it go back looking the same way. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Did I forget to take out a bit? Yep, I sure did. All right, just wanted to show you guys how dusty this thing is. That's the motherboard right there. Can you guys see that? Man, that's plain gross. Oh, let me turn off this real quick. That right there is really, 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 really dusty. I'm sure I've seen worse, and I've seen worse as well, with like roach feces and stuff. So I'm glad that this one's not roach infested. It could be worse. It could be worse. I'm glad it's just dust. Yeah, this never been cleaned. This has never been cleaned. If it was, I honestly couldn't tell. I gotta tell you, me having allergies, this dust is not helping. Woo! Dust Bunny's been collecting there for some time. But look at this. Look at the difference. I've cleaned this side of the motherboard, but look at all that. Are you doing business to business? No. Well, I do business to business only with one client at the moment. I do it with iPhone 4 repair. iPhone 4 repair. They're located somewhere in Ohio, I believe. I don't remember exactly what their address is. So I only have one business to business client at the moment. It's somewhat of a struggle though with regards to pricing, because business to business, of course, they also got to make their own money as well. But at the same time, I don't want to do free labor either, and I can't just charge part costs only, you know. So it's kind of difficult doing business to business unless we come to a common ground that they are okay. Normally for business to business, I like to do between 25 to 20% discount of whatever the cost it is that I charge to do repairs, if that makes sense. No, this is not overheating issues. This was a broken HDMI port, but they probably did have overheating issues as well. All right. Oh, I forgot to clean this heatsink. I thought I was already done. All right, we're done with that vacuum, hopefully. We got everything dust-free, or at least somewhat dust-free. It's not a full-on clean. I do charge for cleaning services. I did somewhat of a clean on this one. I didn't do like my usual cleaning services though, to where it's almost spotless and stuff. But we're almost there. Can anyone recommend a beginner solder iron that will deal with the lead-free solder? That's a question. That's a good question, bud. So when I started, I was also a beginner micro soldering, and the one I started off with was a soldering iron from Amazon. It was called Xtronics, I believe. I think that's what the name of it is. I don't have it anywhere on my list, and that's only because I think I only paid about $120 for it at the time. It's probably less now, but it came with everything. It came with the tips, the iron. It even came with the hot air attached to it as well, which was good. And that's what I started off with, to just practice, not necessarily to offer repair services to anyone. And this was probably about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, potentially. That's what I started off with. I'm sure there's better ones now that you can start off with, but I don't have any in mind that I can share with you. Alrighty. Clean my desk area because I don't want it to be all dusty and dirty and stuff. And all that getting all over my skin. Electronic tech. My uncle had a degree for it and went around replacing computer parts in different locations. Well, it's fun because I got to learn a few things. Yeah, doing this is pretty fun. You don't need a degree for this. No, you don't. You can just get certified, bud. Get certified. It can certainly help. Get some experience. Honestly, to do this, all you have to do is buy some broken devices, not just consoles. You can buy broken devices from phones, computers, laptops, consoles, whatever it is that you're interested in learning how to repair. Buy broken devices, and then learn how to diagnose it in the first place. Learn how to diagnose that issue, and yeah, that's it. Learn how to diagnose, and then from there you start learning how to do repairs. All right, so this one we're gonna go ahead and it's just an HDMI port. I can make it easier to where I only heat it up with some low melt solder, but I'm gonna heat it up from the bottom, remove it, and put in the new one, which is fairly easy. Hanging it down towards the edge of the table, heat it up from the bottom, remove this HDMI port, put the new one. It's not that difficult. It's Xbox One S, so these are fairly easy to actually remove. All we do is just add some flux to this. And you guys are not able to see because, there it is, right there. You guys be able to see right there. And actually, we don't need to move this. We can move this back to where we had it because we're gonna use the cam. For you guys, we're gonna use the camera view, scope view. It's $150. The Exxon G3B. You should share a link, Peter, if you have. I don't know if you have an affiliated program with Amazon or whomever you're trying to share it with. You never know. I don't mind it, man. Go ahead and share your link. I won't be hating on it. You know, you're the one that's providing that intel, so I don't mind you providing the link and sharing that with them. And if you get, what, 2%, I think that's what they give you. I think it's 1.something% or 2%, something like that. I know it's not a lot, but it helps. It helps. It helps. Are you guys you guys aren't able to see this screen. I forgot to change the scene. My apologies. There it is. That was my fault, y'all. That was my fault. If you guys are watching me on TikTok, you guys want to see what's under the scope, go to my YouTube channel. The link is in bio as well. Quite a bit of heat this thing is taking. I think I might have it on the low. It's loose on this side over here. There it is. Quite a bit of heat. All right, let's go ahead and add some, that's the problem. I didn't add a lot of flux. So let's go ahead and add some regular leaded solder to lower the melting temperature a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is add more flux to this. And then add some solder. Now I don't want to inhale these fumes, so I'm gonna turn on my fume extractor. Oh, it's on AliExpress. Yeah, AliExpress doesn't provide affiliate links that I'm aware of. Yeah, this thing took some heat time. Normally what I tend to do is I put some low melt solder to reduce the melting temperature. But this time I didn't put any low melt solder at all. I just went ahead and heated up from the bottom. There's no components at the bottom that are very delicate, like heat sensitive, that could fry. So on an Xbox One S, I'm okay with doing that. Now, when it comes to the Xbox Series X, however, that's different. It's got the ESD booster chip down at the bottom, so putting that kind of heat, although it does take some time as well with the Xbox Series X. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add some regular leaded solder to this. All right. And I'm gonna add just a tad bit more flux, and then we're gonna go ahead and solder on the new port. We're gonna do the same method, drop method. Same method. Let me go ahead and grab it though. The HDMI port, Xbox One S, right over here. I need to order some more. I think I have 10 left. I don't get as many Xbox One S's, so I haven't been keeping as many of them stock. I think I keep about 25 to 50 of them in stock. PlayStation 5s, however, I keep minimum 100 of them. Because I go through those like hotcakes, to be honest. Make sure these pins are straight. They look straight to me. Let's go ahead and start heating it up from the bottom, and then I'll check my TikTok chat here in a bit. Trying to get this done real quick, y'all. And you know what? I'm gonna increase my airflow though, because it was taking too much earlier. Although I did reduce the heat temperature by adding some leaded solder to this. Oh. Come on. This thing is starting to get hard. There it is. All right, solder solidified. Let's just check our work, make sure our work is good. Looks like the actual pins themselves are gonna need a little bit of a touch up. Just fine. This is one of the reasons why I like the Xbox One S HDMI port replacements. Look at all this real estate, man, for the port itself. You got a whole bunch of space to be able to work with. It's not tight. There's no components near it that's gonna obstruct from you being able to solder on the port. I love it. For the Xbox One S, I love it. Damn allergies are starting to kill me. Got some flux near the ASD, so I need to clean that up. I don't like to leave a whole bunch of flux there. All right, that is cleaned. Let me look at what the bottom looks like. We got flux all over the bottom, and we also just need to fix those points. I don't like the way they look. We're gonna make them look pretty. There we go. Now let's go ahead and clean it up. We're gonna just warm up some of that flux so we can remove it. Loosen it up real quick with a little bit of heat. IPA and our trusty wipe. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna scrub with the brush. Still kind of hardened a little bit. Maybe it'll soften a little bit more. Always clean your mess. You don't want to leave flux behind. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and blow my nose real quick because these allergies are killing me. I'm telling you. Sorry about that. I kept talking on mute. No, what I was just saying was, yes, this lead-free solder certainly takes a lot of heat. And yes, this is a very, very, very thick motherboard, as you can see right there. On top of it being a very thick motherboard, yeah, but the motherboard itself, it's basically made out of copper, so it takes a lot of heat to it, which is why it took so long to remove that HDMI port. So usually what I tend to do, if I want to do it quicker, at least on the actual pads themselves, what I tend to do is I add some low melt solder. And the reason why I do that is to reduce the melting temperature of the leaded-free solder that's on there. And then I use wick or a solder sucker, whichever one you prefer, but I use a wick, and remove the low melt solder afterwards to where then I use only leaded solder to be able to solder on the chip or the HDMI port in this scenario. So there's various methods though. There's various methods to be able to do this. You'll find whichever method works best for you once you start getting the hang of this, to be honest. I just like it whenever other people go on there, they're in this profession, and they try to tell you that you're doing it the wrong way. Now, I understand you get constructive criticism and stuff, you know, and trying to help you to better your knowledge and make things easier. But when someone puts you down though and tells you you're doing it wrong, that's not cool at all, or at least not in my books. Because there's not necessarily a wrong way to do something so long as you do it right. Now, the only wrong way to do something is if you work to tear traces, then yes, you definitely did something wrong. Excuse me. If you work to tear traces, then yes, at that point in time, I would agree something did go wrong. But if you are able to fix something without messing anything up, let's say, for an example, this is an HDMI port repair, and you complete the replacement of the HDMI port repair without tearing any traces at all, putting too much stress heat onto the actual motherboard, and all components are still in its place, none are lost, and the thing still turns on, and now it actually displays, and you did it, you did it your way, then that's not a wrong way. You did it, you did it your way. But if someone goes in there and tells you, no, you still did it wrong, I don't agree with that. You have your own way and you'll get used to it. Now, there are tips and tricks that other people can share, and that's fine. Share the tips and tricks. I've learned a lot from a lot of these YouTubers that I've watched, from Jessa Jones, Phil, and when I say Phil, I mean Phil with the coder. Also, Tronics Fix, SCS Telecom, who else? I buy Flux from him. I forgot what the gentleman's name is. What is the gentleman's name? Northridge Fix. I used to watch Louis Rossman, but now his content, for me, it's not technical anymore. It's off. Nowadays, it's something completely different. Of course, I agree with him and I follow him for the rights to repair type scenario, but I like watching repair videos and to be able to learn from people potentially, and try to implement or use those tactics or techniques within my repairs. Micromage is another gentleman I watch. So there's a lot of people I've watched, and I've learned bits and pieces from people. But I do it my way still, though. Not any other way. I'm just learning from them, so. But it's still my way. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh yeah, we certainly did a great job with this HDMI port repair. I've been doing this type of repair these type of repairs I've been doing for a very long time now. So this is not something new. Alrighty, so we got this thing put together just enough to be able to test. And I did it this way. I could have just left it on the motherboard alone, but I did it this way because I have a feeling that it may work. If not, we're going to test the hard drive as well, because I have a feeling potentially the hard drive may be bad because of how dusty it was. And a lot of the times, hard drives tend to go bad when it goes through a lot of heat and it's fairly dusty in there, in my experience, that is. But we're going to test real quick. We're going to see if we have a display now. The HDMI port itself, which is right here. You guys can see. Guys and gals. Right there on that corner was actually broken. All right, so I can show you guys as well. That corner right there for the HDMI port was broken, which is why we replaced it, because it was an actual broken HDMI port. But we're going to go ahead and test now and see if this will work. If it doesn't work, it's because I fucked up, to be honest. I did something wrong. Fan spin. All right, and if you're watching me on TikTok, you want to see if this console works, go to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, it's gonna have the the console appear on there if it's actually working. Test bench. Okay, console's turning on. What? Shut off. Don't tell me it's got a beep on, beep off scenario now. Sure does. We got a beep off, beep off, beep on scenario.
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
That's not good. I didn't test to see if this thing was even turning on before, honestly. I just started working on it, so that was my mistake there. I wasn't sure if it wasn't making sure everything's currently plugged in. Give me a second here. I'm not sure if it had any other issues besides that. I didn't. That was my fault. I should have checked to see if it even turned on before working on this console.
Few people try to do.
Making sure my connections are all plugged in correctly. If it spins, all right, let me check that HDMI, make sure I don't have any bridges. I didn't check that either right now. What sound is a bit difficult? Is the mic still not on? I'm sorry, I'm not sure if the mic, I thought the mic was on. I wasn't sure. Is the mic on or not? I see it moving here. And the volume is up as well. Unplug the drive, will it boot to BIOS? That's a good question. Drive is unplugged. Let me plug in the... I'm glad you mentioned that because I would have forgotten to test that, to be honest. Drive is unplugged. Not the optical drive, the hard drive is unplugged. And let's see if it'll boot at least to BIOS. Plug in the power button. No. Same thing. Nope. I'm gonna check my my work real quick just to make sure I don't have any bridges. I'm gonna start with the area where that I just finished working on, and then start diagnosing from there. A beep on, beep off, usually it could mean anything, to be honest. So it kind of concerns a little bit because a beep on, beep off, it could be just about anything. All right, let's check. I guess we'll go ahead and change the scope view here. Okay, we're gonna check to see if our work here is good. Am I seeing a bridge or no, I'm imagining things. It's just flux. I was hoping it was just a bridge. These pins don't look great. They're not aligned. They're not touching though. Let me do a bridge test real quick with my multimeter. Validate these put it in continuity mode. Just to validate, make sure we don't have any bridges. And I think this HDMI port, I can push it in a little bit though. We don't have any bridges. I did put a lot of heat down below. So let me check those components. I don't know, there is nothing really back here. Oh. I'm just randomly testing right now real quick in the areas where I put quite a bit of heat. I am testing a short here, I think. Nope, no short. Still got some flux in that area. That HDMI port doesn't look good either. Kind of looks like it's corroded in that area. It looks like corrosion there. All right, I'm gonna have to do some additional diagnostics of this, but I think I'm gonna do it in the morning because it's pretty late in the evening. I thought this was gonna be just a simple HDMI port repair, so I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and get it tackled. But if not, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this in the morning, and I'll go live as well while I'm doing it, because this one's gonna take a little bit more to get resolved. I'm just doing the visual inspection right now to see if I see anything out of the ordinary. Any discoloration of sorts, potential burnt components. I'm not sure if this is paint over here. This marker. Also this chip here. Kind of looks, I don't know. I'll have to open up my, I've got a board view for this where I can start testing some of the test points and seeing if I get the proper voltage. But I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I won't be doing that today. It's a bit too late to do that today. And now my ground points here are both interconnected. I don't think that would cause any issues though. My last check I'm going to do is just test these ESD filters of sorts, just to see if this one should be ground. That ESD is not, this pin here is not, doesn't have continuity. There it is. Oh, I kind of just ruined it right there. Come on. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. That's the last area I touched, so I decided to check that area. But yeah, I'm gonna do some additional diagnosis on this tomorrow, y'all. It's a bit too late today. It's already past 10, 7 past 10, and I need to get some sleep. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Micro Mage coffee time. Working. Yeah, working late. I'm backed up with some jobs. I was trying to get one last job done. It was supposed to be a simple HDMI port repair, but turns out I failed to check to see if it actually turned on before I started working on it. I just started working on it. I don't remember turning it on at all. I just started working on it, so, and it was really dusty. I don't see anything out of the ordinary on this motherboard though. I don't see like any sort of liquid damage, any discoloration, any sort of burnt, blown components of any sorts on it. So this one's gonna, and it's beep on, beep off scenario. Let me try it without it being on inside the chassis. Let me see what it does. me try it just one last time. I forgot to plug in the power cable. It's not gonna do nothing without it. It spins. Yeah, beep on, beep off. Let me check something real quick. Let me see if anything's getting hot under the microscope, potentially in this area. The only thing getting hot here is that south bridge. It just pulses. Yeah, I think there was something else going on with this console prior to me working on it, honestly. All right, I'll do some more additional diagnostics tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, y'all. For those of you that actually sat in tune to watch my live, appreciate you. Thank you very much. But it's time for me to get some shut-eye, some sleep. And I'm gonna leave this one here because this is gonna be the one I'm gonna start working on tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, I will be live. And we'll be working on this console, and we're gonna try to figure out what's going on. I may end up having to desolder the Southbridge chip, reball one, and solder it on and see if in fact that's the problem. Yep, the potential problem. So yeah, but we'll continue tomorrow, y'all. Thank you very much. Power. Yeah, this is well, initially it came in for a HDMI port, or at least that's what was sent to me, but I did fail to check to see if it was, if it powered on, if it stayed on. I just started working on it. I checked it in, and that's normally in my check-in, and I honestly just bypassed all that because I was pretty busy. So I just checked it in, and then started working on it as soon as I was done with that Xbox Series X earlier. But alrighty, y'all. Thank you very much. Peace. Stay blessed. I will be seeing you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Same thing for you guys. Peace and stay blessed. Hit the follow button on TikTok if you haven't so already. And also, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I could potentially get monetized. I think I'm only about 1,000 or so. I'm like 2,700 watch hours. So I'm not too far away from my watch hour. So hopefully by the end of this month, if not end of next month, I should have the subscribers as well as the watch hours, and hopefully, potentially, my channel becomes monetized. But otherwise, that's what the goal is for now. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.